Okay, my contribution to this, um, my answer. Okay, well, I'd see it one way of seeing it is this: in the West, we have this feudalistic history, and there started to be a debate where the dictators, the kings, did listen. Some people had their ear. This conversation, uh, rumors and things that they had to react to, no matter whether, even if they didn't like it. And this was the conversation of the people in the court and living in the castle or visiting, and the kinds of conversations and party conversation we're really talking about. Then also all the sessions of people that meet at times like that and places like that and go off for their private consultations with each other. Okay, then we have the invention of the press, and we start to have magazines and newspapers. We have editors, editorials. There start to be letters to the editor. We get even more. There's public access and radio talk and call-in programs. And finally, we get internet debate, and it's really past a threshold where it's not all the way out there, but it's similar to something we can imagine being a pretty complete public conversation with ways to make official comments to your representatives, ways to just bullshit on the net. Any subject goes somewhere. Okay, so I think it is beneficial because I think we're talking about it's like as important as slavery that just everybody can take part in this buzz instead of just the people at the cocktail parties inside the castle. Okay. All right. Two, I think we have to see it as important and socially beneficial because it's one of the things you have to work back from your feelings. You feel there really should be free speech. Why? What justifies that? If it isn't beneficial, you don't have an argument. We don't make laws just because, oh, we know it should be this or should be that, or rather, we shouldn't, and we should stop making laws that way. We have to say what's going on with that, why it's beneficial. Now, it could be that the only beneficial nature is individual, and it's beneficial because it's beneficial to society to allow individuals to express themselves on that level and benefit on that level. Okay. But still, you'll have to be able to argue that it's beneficial and that the benefit, if to an individual, um, conveys itself somehow to society, if only because we want a society that lets individuals enjoy individuality. Okay, but I do think there's more to that, more to it than that, because we are part of a public conversation that is having an influence and having the ear, and reluctantly so in many cases, but always some sort of reaction. In other words, you can't command the system through this public conversation, but you can get its ear. It may do the opposite of what you want. In reaction, it might see, oh, those people are on me. In this case, I will do something even smarter and more clever and screw them over more. It could be like that, but at least they're reacting. And when you figure out how they're reacting eventually, you have more of a chance than if you're not a part of the conversation at all and you don't even know how other people think, let alone your rulers and everyone else, because the rulers have told you a picture that they want you to believe. The internet, public conversation in general, all of those media that I mentioned, they all help break away this illusion that there used to be, where these opinions flowing out from the castle and the court were taken as the status quo and what everybody thought, even if most people didn't think that way. Because, oh, even if you expose that fact, well, important people think that. Well, now everybody has a chance to have an important opinion. And most people, will have opinions of just limited import. Well, they'll all be limited, but that we won't value as individuals. But still, there is a value for them, and probably in this wide world for a few other people. Sometimes they're misguided, and the meaning really is an expression of some problem they have to overcome. Again, the conversation can only help with that. Now, people might act crazy in the meantime, and before they figure out the help, do something crazy. But that's people, that's not the conversation. To dig into this stuff and cure what ails mankind, we have to have this public conversation. So that's why it's very important to take part in. I would even think that people that are not directly interested in it might want to enter this conversation as much as they can, as often as they can. And certainly, this is a justification for why we need free speech, why we need commercial entities, just like medical entities, medical companies. If they're working in medicine, they know there's going to be some regulation because of the danger and inherent importance of that activity. It's the same, well, it's different, but it's also an important, inherently important activity with certain requirements. If our speech is to be facilitated by private organizations, it needs to be free. And why? Because the public debate is a very important thing to us all. And that's my answer to my own question.